Before what is today the Federal Republic of Nigeria turned to crude oil as a basis of our economy following the discovery of 1956 in Olobiri in present-day Ogbea local government area of Bayelsa State in the south-south zone of the country, agriculture and solid minerals exploration drove the engine of our economy from the years of colonial rule, self-governance, and eventually the autonomous federating regions of the First Republic. But these are very well-known facts that are also taught in schools across the country and remain talking points in the mass media both within and outside the country. Though there are yet to be very clear indications that Nigeria will break away from the current monoproduct economy, President Muhammadu Buhari has promised, at least this particular promise, or should we say commitment, because these are no longer the days of campaign, was made by the president himself. And we have it on record that his administration will return the country to the era where agriculture and solid minerals will drive the economy, in addition to petroleum that the proceeds have been stolen and wasted over the decades.
Unemployment, notably youth unemployment, features strongly in our party's manifesto. We intend to attack the problem frontally through revival of agriculture, solid minerals mining, as well as credits to small and medium-sized businesses to kickstart these enterprises. Fellow Nigerians, the confidence of many might shake. However, I stand before you today, promising that we will secure our country, build our economy, and make the Federal Republic of Nigeria stronger than it has ever been. The answers to our problems are not beyond us. They exist on our farmlands, our corporations, in the universities, in the hearts and minds of our entrepreneurs, through the gallantry of our armed forces, and the resolute spirit of Nigerians, especially the youth, who have refused to give up despite all the obstacles confronting us.
Hello and welcome to Straight Talk on AIT. Thanks indeed for staying with us. I am Terverr Tyav in our Padoma Hill studios at the AIT headquarters in Abuja, the Nigerian capital. One solid mineral that remains synonymous with the mining sector in Nigeria is tin. And Plateau State in north-central Nigeria was like the home of the exploration activity in the country. On the program today, we shall take you to the tin city, where for communities that the country once got her wealth from their ancestral home, it is a legacy of pain, neglect, environmental degradation, and most scary threat to the lives of hundreds of thousands, with nobody or authority doing anything about safeguarding the future of those who are and will definitely be affected.
Disco music is so... What's that word, Seth?
Raz?
Raz!
Hang on, let me check for something.
Oh.
I've got some classics.
Tupac.
Mozart.
Very Raz.
What about Vanilla Ice?
Also Raz. Look, guy, I need something fresh for this journey. Something to keep me alert and focused. Or else this is a solo assignment.
Cool down, What's this? PVC?
Wait, give me that. Come. How on earth did it get there?
Guy, relax now. It's not like it's of any use.
Look, yes, the elections are over, but we need to keep the flames alive by playing an active part in making our voices heard.
Elections don't finish, but the time to close mouth never reach. Make we get involved, because now when we participate, Naija go better.
What about the original soundtrack for the movie Pretty Woman?
Records have it that tin as a mineral resource in what is today Plateau State was discovered by local farmers around 1700 to 1750 in Kasa near a river channel in Jos, which is now the state capital. The rest is history. But mining of tin in commercial quantities started in October 1904 and eventually made the Jos Plateau the 6th largest producer of tin in the world up to 1960. This is what is left of most of the communities, especially in the 12 most affected of the 17 local government areas in Plateau State 112 years after the commercial exploration of tin on the Jos Plateau. One common feature is that large hectares of land surrounding the abandoned mining ponds have also been deserted by residents of the original host communities who are forced to live meters away as they cannot even make use of what is left of the mining fields. Reports have it that the ponds have also over the decades claimed the lives of many, especially children, who came swimming. The loose nature of the banks clearly points to the danger it poses as a death trap for anyone who dares to play around it.
Somebody died last 3 years.
Okay.
Last 3 years.
Do you know that they used to mine tin here?
I don't know that one.
Why many people now avoid these mining ponds, which are though a part of their communities, and they can only but wish them away, a few others choose to make use of them in different ways. From washing to bathing, the more ingenious ones still make a fortune from the ponds irrespective of the risks which a number of them are not even aware of.
I know this place for the past 30 years ago. I'm one time a tipper driver in this community, and this place is piled by mining people, and we got opportunity because it's sand, and anyone want to purchase the sand, we come here and buy from the owner of the land. And this is how we've been eating it step by step till this stage. You can see which tipper cannot be able to come in again.
Washing is to wash clothes, swim inside, washing car.
So once this water, when it reaches December, January, it finishes. And we will start pumping gen from here. We will use at least 5 or 4 gen to at least pump water from here down there so that we use it.
Okay. For dry season farming?
For dry season farming.
Okay.
And we've been pleading with the federal government to help us. They will attend to us and we will not see any result.
On the farmlands where the farmers are forced into self-help and from where the failed authorities of Jos South, Local Government Council of Plateau State, still take from the poor, it is a clear case of the I can do spirit of the Nigerian. Now meet 65-year-old Joseph Rwangdung, who like hundreds of other farmers manually irrigates his crops day in, day out, as he shares his experience with us on how he manages his farm, which is serviced by water from one of the abandoned tin mining ponds on the Jos Plateau. What Dung the farmer doesn't know is that what he produces on his farm here is poison, which he eats with his family as food and also sells a good portion of it to unsuspecting members of the public in exchange for the money that will meet his other needs. How much do you make with the farming you do? How much do you make at the end of every season?
Myself? You see, I moved to Ankali today. There is somebody there. This mess, all this mess. For the one where people, women, they roast it.
Oh, okay.
This is the one.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you make big money. Yeah, now because if you pay local government 8,000, it means you, and then you buy fertilizer again.
I buy fertilizer again.
So the money is much like 100,000.
100,000. Anyway, sometimes, well, we're just looking.
The waters that are being used, are they safe? What type of chemical do they contain? Associated with the tin, I won't go into the formation of that, but we have elements like potassium, which is radioactive. All right, and then here, particularly the younger granites on which we are seated today, it has a high level of uranium and thorium, and those are very radioactive materials. So as you break these rocks and scatter and you dump like that, you are exposing, you are releasing some of these radioactive materials. And God help us, because some of the women, when they say, black sand is very good for roasting, frying granite. So a lot of the granites that people buy in the just environment have been prepared using sand that has some radioactive materials in there. And these are supposed to be the waste products of the tin mining. So yes, it's possible. And then this same sand is what the natives living in that environment use for making their houses, isn't it? So there are some houses, the dust that you sweep out when you take a Geiger counter there, it will frighten you because of the rate of the counts of radioactivity that you see from the dust. And these are things we have also looked at. A former professor who has retired from here now worked on that for her PhD, for example. So, house dust has some radiation. The walls also.
Practically living.
Yes, in a heightened.
Professor Chris Ashanu, who is the head of the geology department at the University of Jos, also shares findings from other research works he has been involved with, and some conducted by other scholars, about the harmful effects of any product or resource tapped from the abandoned mining ponds. It is indeed the story of a disaster just waiting, especially for residents of communities in the area where the abandoned ponds exist. Join the conversation here on the program using the hashtag StraightTalkAbuja on any online platform. You can also follow me on my Twitter handle @TV. Let's talk. Yes, it's time to talk the talk and ask the very tough questions on Straight Talk, a program that distinguishes between facts and the truth to hold the government accountable. Let's talk about the policies, development, the budgets and allocations, and the realities on ground across all sectors in the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Bring it on Straight Talk every Wednesdays at 1:30 p.m. Nigerian time. I am Terverr Tyav. Straight Talk is exclusive to AIT. This tin pond, located around the Rayfield area of the Jos Bukuru metropolis, is one of two such ponds, which was in 1978 converted by the Plateau state government into a mini water project for the supply of supposed potable water to Bukuru, the headquarters of Jos South local government and its environs. Though the rehabilitation and upgrading of the project has now been abandoned, there are questions about the safety of the water despite the purification and treatment process over the years.
And really this was a mining pond, and the government is now using it to supply the environment with drinking water. Now we call this water the raw water. If it is being transported to the treatment plant, after treatment it becomes treated water. We now send from the treatment plant to the reservoir, from the reservoir now to the people for drinking. We have the other one at Dora Pond there. If you are going towards College of Health Technologies around, we have our another pond there but that pond is connected to this treatment plant. We use the low-leaf pump there. We have pumps there. We now transport the water to this particular place for treatment.
We aren't exactly talking about underground water systems here. So the surface water, we have surface runoff and all of those. And these waters pass through grounds that we have, these dumps and all those. Yes, like I said before, tin is not easily soluble, and most of its associated elements here are not so easily soluble. So the possibility here, I would say to you directly that in terms of heavy metals, a lot of them may not be there to the point of toxicity, but iron, suspect. All right, and some other ones, they could be suspect. So I can't tell you that because I don't know that project. I can't say it has been done. If you get to them, you cannot ask them and let them show you the papers that itemize the chemical data. Yes, but if they haven't done that, then it's one of those Nigerian projects.
Senior officials of the Plateau State government, including the Commissioner for Environment and Mineral Development, Abdullahi Garba Abbas, and authorities of the State Water Board were not forthcoming to speak on this issue, despite the opportunities given to them to do so, at no cost at all.
This particular pond you are looking at is one in Du Village, somewhere in Jos South local government area of Plateau State in north-central Nigeria. It is barely a few meters away from the private residence of the immediate past governor of the state, Jonah Jang. And as you can see, it's abandoned. One would have thought that perhaps the fact that it's just behind the backyard of the immediate past governor maybe would have it would have caught his attention during his 8 years in office, but obviously that was not the case. It's been a whole day of work going around different sites of this kind of ponds across the different local governments of Plateau State, and the stories are the same. But the most disturbing aspect of it all is the fact that there is no coordination. Some have told us there has been no attempt by any authority to stop anybody from further degradation of the environment in this form. That is worrisome because one just wonders what this will look like in the next 20, 30, 50 years. And it may just be a problem we're passing on to a generation that may know nothing about. The authorities should intervene and do something immediately. This should be a national project, national priority that should get the attention of the Federal Minister of Environment. The Minister of Environment, her Minister of State should be here. This is something we should look at in terms of reclamation of the land, putting it to better economic use, where the state government, the local government, even the federal government can make some form of revenue.
Very little has been done by the federal and Plateau State governments to protect the generations that were not even born when the then money-spinning tin mining business thrived on the Jos Plateau. This one project of dredging and expanding some of the many abandoned mining ponds in the two communities of Yelwa and Rabindu by the immediate past administration of Jonah David Jang, now a senator, could not be completed in his 8 years as a governor. Though the people and government of Plateau State had in recent past called for reclamation of the abandoned mining ponds by the federal government to put the vast hectares of land affected by the havoc of the last 112 years to better use, just like it was under the 8-year administration of Governor Joshua Dare, now also a senator. There is no visible commitment yet by the new administration of Governor Simon Lalong on the way forward.
The state government has not done anything. We've been crying to them, but they have not done anything.
Okay. You said it's a local government farm?
Yes.
Okay.
And we even cry to the local government so that they will come and then help us, assist us. But no effort has been done.
Yes, actually, if government can come into and make the place flat ground again for people to be able to use, whether build or company, anything can be done inside when government come. With government, all things are possible.
Okay. When you people were digging the place, getting the sand, did anybody stop you? Did anybody try to stop you?
No. The only people stop us when we don't pay. When we don't pay the dues of the sand. That is what people stop us.
They actually stopped us from farming around. They said they were going to compensate people that have lands around the pond, which it didn't happen after the administration, and we know that government is a continuous process. So we don't know whether the new government is coming to continue, but we believe and we want them to come and continue.
At the time they started this mining, the science, let's say, hasn't quite grown to what it is now. So the methods being used for winning the thing isn't as sophisticated as we have now. If we go strictly by the best practices, you mine out a point, you fill it. So it's a mine and fill. And then you have to tend to grow back the ecology to re-establish the ecosystem. So you plant some, not just trees, some other things. Where you can do that, then you have to create some other things that will prevent just an open land.
The president is talking about going to solid minerals, agriculture to diversify. What would you advise the federal government to do?
If we try to mine it as a government, we'll fail.
So for a country and a government that is looking for money in the next 2, 3, 4 years?
No, mining is not in 2, 3, 4 years. From 5 above.
The message is indeed very clear. The legacy of solid minerals exploration is a double-edged sword. While the authorities have not yet laid their hands on the mandatory job of remedying what is left of the tin mining havoc on the Jos Plateau to protect even the unborn generations, taking to mining of mineral resources as being contemplated by the President Muhammadu Buhari administration must not only be done, but seen to be done responsibly in line with international best practices. This takes us to the little that is not even being done to check illegal mining activities across the country. The lead poison in 2010 that killed about 163, mostly children, in Zamfara State, northwest Nigeria, drew global attention barely 6 years ago. And as recent as May 2015, there was the largely unreported death of 28 children in Niger State, north central Nigeria, who were also killed as a result of water contaminated by the lead poisoning from illegal gold mines in the area. Communities like Igun Ijesha in Osun State in southwest Nigeria, Toro in Bauchi State, northeast Nigeria, and Okobo Oibiko in Kogi State, north central Nigeria, are some across the country that mining, whether illegal or industrial, has added little or no value at all to the lives of residents of the areas. On this edition of the program, we are introducing a segment to give you, the viewer, the opportunity to also share with us pictures or videos of those things that you strongly feel need the attention of the public and those in authority. For instance, we have this video of the arrival hall of the Yakubu Gowon Airport in Haipang near Jos, Plateau State in north central Nigeria, where the luggage of passengers from an Arik aircraft is offloaded through the window because there is no luggage roller, as should be the standard practice in the aviation industry. Just watch. So much is wrong here. You will agree. But this is more worrisome considering that just in nearby Bauchi State, northeast Nigeria, not too long ago, we had a video of passengers alighting from an aero contractor's aircraft on a ladder at the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa International Airport. It has been Straight Talk on AIT. I am Terverr Tyav. Thanks a lot for investing your time with us, and goodbye from Abuja.